think we have sound. I really don't know. We don't have picture because
I think it's Safari for some reason.
you got to be in Safari. Did you know that?
Just since last night when we had that problem. No, I didn't know that for sure.
Let's see, dog problem web. Jesus.
But you can get there
I got there from Safari last time.
quickly that way.
There we go.
So it's got to be Chrome. I was thinking it was the website, but it's not the website.
Okay. We're ready for mail call, sort of.
I think we are.
Have we got sound? Anybody tell us? How was Nova's foot? Who the hell's Nova? Nova's the dog in the living room, in the kitchen, right?
Yes.
That's getting better.
Yes.
Huh, okay. Oh, we were trying to feed Sizzle.
Yeah, they did it the other way.
They did it the other way. I tell you.
I know. I know. I saw that.
You know, and much as I tell everybody, you have to leave the curtains down to get a better view. That doesn't happen. I get tired. I get tired. Okay, the sound ought to be back on because they're still down there. Black spot inside the front leg. They have it. That's a chestnut. It's called a chestnut. It's basically the remains of their fifth toe. They also have one at the back of their ankle where there's a little bunch of hair hanging. That's another one. And then the three others form the hoof. Oh, she's got it. There we go. Martina told everybody.
Oh, nice.
Dogs like it. Chew on. You're absolutely right. Well, I don't have to answer that. Somebody already knows that. Okay, that's a good thing. Whoop. We hear you, Miss Carlene. That's me. Yes, there's sound. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Okay. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Now I have two envelopes here that were sent with a lovely, very odd-looking. How can we show it?
Open your email and open the picture, and we can put the camera on your screen.
Really?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, we're gonna fool around here for a minute. Let's see. Shut that off. Let's see. I got it. Oh, I already downloaded it, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I put it in pictures. Oh, this drives me crazy. Also, it would be called a barn. I called it a barn. Barn something. That's boat. Bella. We got a lot of Bellas was here today. That's another whole topic. B-A-R-N. No barn. Oh, good.
Well,
Barn. What the hell? What was a barn?
I don't know.
What was the name of it?
It was a mural or
A barn quilt.
quilts, yeah.
But
Oh. Type quilt in in your search bar if you know you put quilt. Yep.
I don't. Q-U-I-L-T.
You can click on, yeah. No? Jeez.
I get so sick. I'm supposed to be able to click on that.
You would think, yeah.
You would think. You would think, but that doesn't work.
No.
Why? You know,
Well, maybe
I
you
had
can-
this up with somebody. Why do I get so fast? Because I fail so often, and there's no reason I should fail that one.
Well-
I downloaded the thing, and I put it in there with Barn Quilt, but it's not there. So maybe it's still over here. There it is right there.
Okay.
So there it is. Isn't that, it's very pretty. So you just wait, all you people.
Yeah.
I'll get organized eventually. What am I going to do now? I'm going to make it full size
Yeah. And then turn your computer a little.
and turn the computer screen.
All right. And then, okay.
And now,
Hold on, give me 1 minute.
it is lovely. And it's a donkey and a Dane and a bunch of the colors of the whole place. And it matches the Café Le Donk sign. And we put it all on the door that Chip fixed. So we could
turn it a hair more, but she's
Huh?
fixing it. Turn it a hair more.
hear more.
All right. Okay. How's that? All right, Linda?
It's caught on that thing.
All right, there we go. That's really pretty.
It is pretty. A lot of work went into that. And I've got to get stainless steel washers to have in the corners. Are we looking at it? Did you put the sound back on?
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful? Sound in the barn apparently is on. Dear Carlene, this is a barn quilt.
Let's talk while it's doing
What?
that. Linda's working on zooming it. It's taking a while.
This is a barn quilt, and I am a barn quilt artist. I'm a silent CP who's been watching the cameras for a few years. I wanted to paint a barn quilt for you, Crazy Acres, and Service Dog Project. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. Although I realize that the colors of the buildings at the farm may change in the future. I tried to incorporate the current colors within the work. And of course, it's all about the Danes and donkeys. This barn quilt can be hung outside or inside, but it is specially made for the outside. It is made of 3/4-inch plywood and 3 coats of primer. Each color has 3 coats of the exterior acrylic paint.
We're trying.
Huh?
She's trying.
It's on?
It's taking a while to zoom in.
Oh, that's right. Instead of using a spray or paint sealer, it's professionally laminated with vinyl so that it will not yellow or fade. I couldn't find a galvanized wire or hangers, so that may weather with time. We took that down. We screwed that on. Thank you for being an inspiration. Your creative energy flows through the cameras and you inspire people well beyond what you could imagine. With gratitude. That's wonderful.
Who was it from? The name?
I knew you'd ask. I knew you'd ask.
Uh-oh.
Well, handwriting, I'm afraid I'll mispronounce it. Let me see. There's a Carlene 2 here. Let me see
Okay.
whether.
Yeah, I can't tell you either.
The handwriting is really not. Maybe she did different. Becky
Becky. Okay.
Hagen. Becky Hagen. What?
Yeah,
What'd she say?
the string. This thing?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now you just stand there for 3 hours while I'm catching up with it. You know what that string is?
I do. You
do?
told me.
That's the computer. I don't think I've used that in 12 years.
And not since I've been here.
It's over in the overflow room, and that's how it's plugged into the world. And the cord goes over there, and we hang things on dust on it.
And it goes down
It
and
goes
around.
down and around, and it's hung on the stairs and things.
And nobody's tripped over it.
Nobody's
which is
tripped over it.
amazing.
No, because it's way up in the air.
It's either going to hang someone or trip someone.
Okay, a fun story. This was a fun story. It goes on. Well, at any rate, I made the barn quilt for you in Service Dog back in the fall, but then I needed to figure out a way to get it to you from North Carolina without spending a fortune. It's very weighty. I posted on the Great Dane EPW site on Facebook to see if someone was driving I could address this to my HOA, called HOA, a
Home.
couple weeks ago, and asked me to be a group of folks. Good things happen, and no happen. He said, just try it. If it was not good, then just back away. We proceeded to chit-chat a while longer. She mentioned that the board needed to meet early because she was going on to Massachusetts. I couldn't believe it. So I told her I needed a barn quilt delivered in Massachusetts. But she said she was going to Northampton. Damn. But I thought I'd get it to Northampton. Maybe someone can keep it until moving further toward the farm. I started telling her all about Service Dog Project, and she mentioned to me that her best friend in Northampton had a granddaughter who had a Great Dane service dog because she has she couldn't remember the dog. George, Bella and George. And quilt to Northampton, and Cindy, grandmother, is taking it to the farm. Small world. Answered prayer and gold. Grateful. I did join the board.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
that
a
funny?
really
So
good story.
Bella and George were here today, and they delivered that. And Bella's mother, with a great deal of effort and supervision, the two of us hung it there. And it's pretty level and straight because we had Bella come along and check it. So that's the story there. It's very attractive, and it certainly fits in that donkey pen really well. It's a shame you can't see it from the...
Hey, you can.
Well, you can in there, but it's a shame you can't see it from the Puppy Hill camera, but
Oh,
it's just out of Puppy Hill range,
that's too bad.
you know? There's so many ways I could just adjust some of those cameras and get just a little bit more of whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's
It is
what
pretty.
it is pretty. Now we may have to dress up the door, or we may leave it battered like that. I don't know. It certainly is hung very straight
Yeah.
because Chip did that big time.
I'm gonna put this in the bucket for thank you. Where's the bucket? Right here. Got it.
Then the reason I'm sitting here with this is actually cement spatter all over me. We had to drill out that hole in front of the door. I drilled a couple holes through, and the water does go through very slowly, but it goes through. So I bit the bullet and hired a concrete cutting company in the next town, and they knew about us, and they came down
What?
and very nicely cut a hole
Thank you.
right outside the door, down 5.5 inches, the width of the concrete, and pulled out a lot of the concrete, not all of it, but it's all cracked up. I can easily remove it by hand. So now what I have to do is to get down through the stone dust. There's probably 6 inches of stone dust, and I will try and do that tomorrow with my soup spoons and see if I can get down to the soil so that maybe that water will drain off. And block and hope the water runs out instead of into the building. What happened?
They said there's no sound.
I didn't touch it. No sound again?
We're talking. We've been talking.
I never shut up. I read that whole long story. I'm going to get
You
off.
can get off of there, yeah.
I might as well print it while I'm sitting there, right?
Here we go.
Here we go. You're telling us there's no sound. I can't hear. I can't wait a minute. I can't hear you. Here, I can't hear her. Food.
Hello? Huh, I don't know. Well, this phone is a mess anyway. Holy cow.
Now what?
Linda can hear us. Just, yeah.
Linda can hear us?
Yep.
You know, I can check it.
You gotta go on to speed.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh God, I have to go here. Here. No sound again?
Oh, we're talking. We've been talking.
I never shut up.
We were trying to get to the page.
I was just checking. I think there's sound on.
I think so.
Do you think so, Linda? Where's Linda?
I heard your whole story about the stone dust and people saying no sound, and I'm listening to you.
Oh, good.
And there's a phone ringing.
What?
Yeah.
The phone's
Phone's
ringing
ringing.
now.
So, no, on her.
'Cause we're
should be-
being-
Wait a minute.
On the computer.
On the computer.
So we're in good shape.
So we are in good shape. We're just backing off. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we have now Harold and Wanda, which will be very
And
quietly
we're back
done.
to our right picture.
What?
And we're back to the correct picture.
We're back to the correct picture. Good.
Harold and Wanda.
Oh, shush. We don't want to get people started at that, apparently.
Okay.
Okay, here, well, pecans. They're into pecans.
Awesome.
Wonderful. And we have, oh God. Here we have, to the White family, a time-sensitive student loan information is enclosed. Well, let me see what they're going to tell me about student loans. What are they going to tell me? College Avenue student loans. And I have a priority code. Dear family, at College Avenue student loans, we know paying for college can be stressful and we don't think it needs to be that way. We built our loans to double major in support and simplicity so it would be as painless as possible for you. Baloney. Visit our online calculator at collegeavenue.com. Apply now 10 to see how you can create a loan that fits your budget and your life. It's common for students with limited credit history or income to need a cosigner with good credit to get approved by. And these poor kids end up
In huge debt.
huge debt. Huge debt.
Yeah.
Ah. To cover up to 100% of school certified cost of attendance, $1,000 minimum, and repay the way that works for you with competitive interest rates and multiple repayment options, we let you decide if you want to make payments during school, and if so, how much and how many years you take to pay back the loan. How many years back? Oh, I hate to tell you. I think that's one of the most criminal things in this country.
Colleges.
Yeah.
I think that and mattresses are criminal.
Huh?
Mattresses.
Mattresses?
I think people pay crazy amounts on mattresses
Yeah.
that they're told are going to fix their back.
Oh, yeah.
And look at how many mattresses we throw out.
Yeah.
Mattresses, but no, college is student debt is obviously much bigger.
Debt in general, you're just working for the bank.
Yep, you are.
It's a new word for
Yeah.
being enslaved.
Well, then they would have those credit cards. Remember, the credit card companies would set up tables during college orientation so that all the new students would get their credit cards.
Oh, and you got $500,000 worth of credit and blah, 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 blah. Okay, chicken and vegetable pot stickers. Huh.
Mr. Bears.
They look good. Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear! Whoa! Oh my word. Okay, Mr. Bear gave us $25 with 4 zeros at the end. Whoa. $2,500.
Nice.
Very nice. He said I could tell. Carlene and all, I'm noticing that June marks the 25th year of my career as a retiree.
Oh, wow.
Love 33 years of teaching and have equally enjoyed the most recent 25. In commemoration, here's 100 for each year of my being in a mostly productive pasture. Please use wherever needed. Been a loyal CP since the first week of 12 and online with Explore. Looking forward to more. Isn't that David? Thank you very much. Dave, not David. Dave. Isn't that wonderful? We couldn't give him that many bricks. But anyway, thank you very much. That will be very nice.
Wonderful.
That is wonderful. Where do you put that in there?
Yep.
Put that in there too. I did all that. That's all I'm supposed to
We have
do.
another thing to do.
I do? I need a drink of water too. 'Cause
Yep.
I do think I'd remember, but I don't. It's just pointless to even try. And this is from Sam. Sam Keys. Thank you very much, Sam Keys. Sam Keys. Oh, I know what this is. Oh, okay, let's talk about these. This is very nice. These will be very nice because I already had somebody ask for one of these, except not for different use. They call these a treat tote, but that's not what they really are going to be around here. They're going to be for somebody's cell phone. We unfortunately had a nasty cell phone loss the other day. She saw Laura giving treats out. Laura had a special situation. I spoke to Laura about it because we don't give out treats when training.
Right.
Because then you get the dog concentrating on the treat and not the training. But Laura had a special dog where she was having an awful time with it over something. And she did for a while, for just that day or so, use treats. And Sam noticed it and then decided that she really ought to have a treat tote to go with her. Now, Golden Retriever people use these all the time. Great Dane people do not. But Great Dane people lose their cell phones all the time. So these will make perfect cell phone holders. I may even use one myself. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I lose my cell phone all the tractor pushes it out of my pocket.
I think that's what happened to Mark.
Mark is still lost, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad thing. So anyway, she has sent us a bunch of these things and some treats.
No fun.
Well, the treats we can certainly use, but the others, they will go as cell phone holders.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
That is very nice.
It is very helpful. Here, I'll hold up on it. Black and red. Treat tote. Cell phone tote. Okay, we'll do questions and then
Answers.
answers.
While you're standing out there,
Yes?
not you,
Oh.
I have purchased a second hook. This will have to go from the top to the rope, and then we're going to go from rope to hook to whatever.
Oh, nice.
This one only holds 2,600 pounds. This one is good for 3,300 pounds. So we're all set.
Holy cow. I would say so. I like these. These are
They are
cool,
good.
Good ones.
Well, you know, I don't know how much this is going to get used, but it is possible to wear through that metal.
Really?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had a gold necklace once. I really did. And it got to the point that the links had worn so much that
Wow.
I no longer wear it. Gwen has it, and she doesn't wear it either. Because at some point it's going to break and fall down, and you'll never notice it. Ugh. Ugh.
All right. Question time.
Question time.
And then we have a lag. We'll remember the lag. Remember the lag. make sure, all right, we can read it. Okay, questions. 42 comments from Tim. Barn quilt, what a great idea and beautiful piece of art.
Oh, you touched it, didn't you?
I just spun it.
I hope.
Uh-oh. I don't know. All right. Got sound. Hopefully we'll have sound at 5:24. My pleasure, Mr. Bear says. My pleasure.
That is wonderful, Mr. Bears. Thank you.
Thank you for your generosity. That's Seagram. Sweet Seagram. Just encourage and educate about not taking out student loans. Exactly. But there are people that were actually, what is the word I'm looking for? They look for victims to go after for those credit cards. That's why they set up their things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is all. Oh, that's from Hannah. She was cleaning stalls today. She took a picture of
That is a horse and a half.
He's very pretty.
He is gorgeous.
And he's
beyond
so
very pretty.
shiny. He's just...
He's been somebody's pet, Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a discussion about Clydesdales and horses, draft horses. If I have to own a horse, I have said before, it would be a draft horse. That's a nice horse.
And his personality is really
His personality, he's been a pet.
Yeah.
He follows you around.
Yeah.
Great big thing.
Yeah.
He seems to be at least the same height as Judy, who's 5'6".
Okay.
A horse is measured in a hand, 4 inches to a hand. So 5'6" is how many inches?
Well, I'm 60.
5 is 12 is
66.
60. 6 is 66.
Yeah.
So we're talking 16'2". That's big. That's big. It's not huge, but that's a big horse. I think he's probably 2,000 pounds without problem. There's several things you got to know about a Clydesdale, which is the Budweiser type horse. He seems to be a black. They have in their hitch bays. That would mean he would be sort of a reject. But he's absolutely gorgeous. His markings are good. His legs are all the same height.
His face is really pretty
Yep.
down there. Like
Very nice. And he's young. I fooled with his mouth today. I don't think he's very old. I would put him 5, 6, 7.
Really?
Now, the reason I like draft horses is most of them, the game is if you buy a horse like him, what you would do is get him up to be full size or whatever, and then you'd send him down to Amish country, where they would, for several months or a year, whatever, put him in between those hitches where they have 4 in a row, and they'd put somebody like him in the middle. And by the time he'd spent a couple months there, he'd be broke.
He's trained.
He'd be very well broke.
Yeah.
I don't know. This has been sort of a show horse type thing. He doesn't have any marks on him at all with harness. I don't know whether he's going to be as nice to handle as the Amish ones. But maybe. We just don't know. It was owned by there's a team of them. We have the other one coming here apparently. They apparently the woman who owned them died, and her husband just kind of turned them out in the mud and didn't pay an awful lot of attention to them. He fed them obviously, but the Clydesdales have what they call feathers on the legs. It's that great showy hairy leg deal, and that just collected the mud probably, and he got what I call scratches behind just over his hoof. Between his hoof and his ankle, sort of an athlete's foot, messy, goopy, oozy, smelly, whatever, infection. And apparently he and his friend were quite bad. So I don't know whether Janine sent him to Tufts. I don't know how he got to Tufts, the two of them, at $750 a day. I don't know how she managed that one. But at any rate, he was there to get cleaned up a little bit, and then they've shaved his legs, so he doesn't have those great big hairy things anymore. But and then the two of them moved to a veterinarian's house, barn, whatever, where it's only $350 a day, and she got him out of there quick to bring him here because it's cheap.
Look at the hit, and he has a little beard.
Oh, they have a lot of.
Do they all have the beards?
Yeah, and I took that halter was heavy.
Ah.
I took it off his head and it almost went down the floor.
Yeah.
And then he stood there while I scratched his ears right where that buckle is on
Yeah.
He really itched there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to leave halters. I don't like to leave collars on dogs. I don't like to leave halters on horses.
Yeah.
So I scratched him, and he just was so happy about it. And he moves his lips. He hit the rescue spot, and his lips kind of go funny. It's amusing. The mules do the same thing. But at any rate, I have no idea what we have on our hands. What I just did email Janine and say, gee, if this man had these 2 horses, she probably drove them, and she must have a harness.
Ah.
And is there any chance we could buy the harness that would
Yeah.
fit these 2?
Mm-hmm.
But if she didn't do anything with them, then we don't need a harness because we're gonna.
Right, you won't be able to
that-
either, right?
Be able to, no, it's drive.
Ah.
It's like my guess he's got a big heavy show harness somewhere. Tom,
Oh, show
my
harness,
husband bought a show harness for his pair. I think it was $3,500.
Really?
A horse.
Yeah.
You know, with a great big collar like the Budweisers have, and I don't know what the heck. Right now we got nothing. So, a horse, but we take care of him. He's doing fine. He's in a. I've penned off his pasture so he can't get near the mud that the mules are in.
Mm-hmm.
The donkeys are. The donkeys have it down pat too. They're going up on the hill and then they're coming down and jumping the mud and into the hay feeder.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand that yet, and I don't want him to get his legs all muddy. So, he's in an area which doesn't have the same mud, which is why he's in that stall
Mm-hmm.
and why he cannot get over to the hay feeder.
Mm-hmm.
So he's standing knee deep in hay at the moment.
Yeah. Sound, microphone, circle of doom, sound. Okay. All right, everybody has sound. Quilt is a piece of art. But they heard the end of the quilt story. That lady is talented. The quilt.
Ah, there we go.
Oh. From the computer screen. I'm like, where did they get that picture? Thank you, Elijah. Yeah, very pretty. It's really pretty. Okay, I'm just trying to go to 30 minutes in. Okay, no trainer talk, sound is on. All right. We're going back up. I think I'm going to try. Here we go. Who's making all that noise? Hello, Sizzle. Holy
Fluffing up the
cow.
bed.
Thank you, Sam. Yep, another generous gifts. Will you keep the Clydesdale?
I have emailed Janine and said, Janine, I like this horse.
Yeah.
He's easy to handle. He's very kind.
Oh, yeah, he came right like this to me. When I was talking last night, he came right to my head and just sat there and listened to me.
Yeah, but he doesn't dance around. We can have a horse do that.
Yeah, he could have
Move
stepped
his
on my
feet
foot.
around. Could step on your foot, let me tell you. But this horse is very careful. Seems that he
He just
may be
went-
fine, but we,
Just went right
you know,
there.
at the moment, I think he's a god. He's interesting.
Hi, Pam. Hi, Carlene. Did you figure out what the pup in the kitchen cut her foot on?
No, I did not. But because that dog was not where I found the 2 hunks of metal. I have 2 hunks of metal. I have no idea where they've come from, and they're underneath the hay feeder in the barn. They do not fit together into any reasonable piece of equipment. So there are obviously other pieces of whatever it is still missing.
Oh.
And these came up out of the mud.
Oh, really?
That's
Huh.
an old farmer something or other from 100 years ago.
Well, people used to bury their trash, didn't they?
Not here, I
Oh,
don't.
not in here. Yeah.
No, that was Linfield.
Yeah, I know. They were in Vermont when I lived up there. The corner of the lot had trash. Then everybody used to dump their trash like a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Weird. I don't know. She was in the pond, and Laura and Bella walked the whole thing, but you might never find it. Well, that was the snapping turtle was out there.
It could be the snapping turtle that did it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they were separated, but that doesn't mean didn't happen earlier. I have no idea. Just a wacky out-of-the-box idea. Could you set up a security mirror and angle it towards the bigger piece? We have those mirrors all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they going to angle?
So that they could see the cafe towards the a bigger piece of the cafe.
I don't know. I might be able to do it from the Puppy Hill camera. I probably could. I bet I could. From the Puppy Hill camera from the corner of the building. I don't think I could do it with the donkey camera because I can't do that. It's the wrong direction. We'd have a picture of the back of the painting.
Yeah.
To get the front of it, it would have to be I can do that with Puppy Hill. We have one on the property.
Yeah, you have
Do
the
you
one
ever
at the
use that?
bend. Yes.
You use
Every
it?
time.
Oh, okay.
But-
we better get another one.
I think other people, at first I didn't. You just put it out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I use it every time I come around the corner.
Yeah, I'm using it more and more too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're not expensive to buy. I'll get one. That's a good idea.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Bup, bup, bup. Love the barn quilt. How is Bella?
Bella did very well with her 3-4-5 triangle. And I sent her home with homework. Somehow I don't think that school is doing right by her.
No, there's a problem there. If that is actually happening, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
there's a big problem there.
yeah, there's a bullying problem and the school is not addressing it. And she's not happy. She just would not go back to school.
Yeah, and it makes
And
you
you
sick when you don't want
Yeah.
to do those things.
And she is seeing somebody to help her, and she did say that the only place she wanted to go was Surface Dog Project, so we've inherited Bella.
Okay.
She will be back on Friday. So I gave her homework. She's supposed to make a rectangle on a clean piece of paper and have the diagonals be equal.
Ah. Okay.
It's not going to be easy. Straight edge and a compass.
Mm-hmm. And Sizzle ran around with George a lot.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was wondering how Bentley was going to be with George. I mean, I only looked for a minute, so I wondered, what's Bentley? And
See,
they
minus the testicular problem.
yeah,
They're minus that business.
Yeah.
Where they just arch their back and start zeroing in. They don't have it. They're just happier.
yeah.
And he's a puppy, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't see it as a threat to any of his family.
Mm-hmm. Does the horse have a name?
Not that I know of. Not yet.
He's a horse with no name. What about the braid on the horse? Do they usually have long bangs?
No, I don't know. Somebody braided it. I thought somebody did it here.
I asked Janine, I said, oh wow, what about that braid? And all she said was she thought she liked the braid. And I couldn't tell if she did it or it was like that.
When you show them, they have a very fancy way of braiding the mane.
Yeah.
Janine can do it, and the reason Janine can do it is because when she was back as a beginner sort of person in this horse world, people would pay $20 to have their horse braided
I bet.
for hunt. And it takes a couple hours, an hour, maybe, I don't know, at any rate. Janine found she could make considerable money braiding horses for people,
That's
and
a
so
good
she's pretty
job.
good at it.
Yeah,
It takes all those tiny little elastics that
yeah.
we have a bunch of.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. You stand on a box and you have a whole mouthful of elastics. And there's a funny little 3-time comb. I don't know.
Huh. And it must be therapeutic if you're good at it. You just whip it through like the monkey fists.
I don't do it. It'd drive me crazy.
No, but you like the monkey fists.
Yeah.
And that's kind of similar. He doesn't have a name. What is happening with the lake by Ayfield? Does that mean the
It's still
current class
there.
of Danes will learn how to swim?
No, they will not. They don't like water.
Yeah. Can you scooch?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Enough scoot?
Nope, good.
There's a concrete block.
There is one.
Do you need that there? Because I need it down in the barn.
No, we don't need,
I need that in my donkey fair.
no. And
That door 59
yeah,
is kind of hanging.
okay.
It's not going to fall because but it needs to be supported.
Are the flies bad in the barn? Bad
Not
in the
yet.
barn?
They will. It will be.
Okay, she said, tell us about Bella's visit.
Well, she went into the barn. I was busy doing something else. She went in the barn. She helped in the barn. I think she did waters. And then she came out and we played with that geometry bit for a while and sat around and talked and things. And then she went to Home Depot with Judy.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, I heard Judy had run in here and said they were going to Home Depot.
Yeah. And her mother loaded the truck with hay. I did notice that.
Oh,
And I did tell her mother, and I did not see her go pick them up, that the windows to that donkey trailer that I gave them,
yeah.
they are between the laundry and the meat shack.
Oh, okay.
They're on the ground. They're 4 inches wide, plexiglass.
Oh, they fit in the slats?
They fit in that slot.
Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I've seen them. They're
Yep.
smoke colored, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Carlene, your orange shirt is very pretty. Bumpel Lake by the field.
Thank you. I'm told that that's everybody else's worst color around here.
Oh, no. With all the large mules and horses, will you need an addition?
No, because they'll all pack in.
They seem to be. I mean,
you
it looks crowded, but they seem fine.
We had at one point in that where we have the camera now.
Yeah.
I had 4 draft horses.
Ah,
I made 4 stalls, straight stalls.
okay. Oh, so they just
They
stepped
went
in.
straight and stood there.
Yeah.
But as long as they're behaving themselves, there's no reason to split them up.
Right. And if you have to keep them inside for a reason, I mean, and you
Yeah.
need the room.
This other horse that's a partner, I have a feeling they'll stand in the same stall together
Mm-hmm.
and have that same in-out area that's not muddy.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, here we go. Usually when you have a bunch of draft horses, and people are inclined to have 6 of them because that's a hitch that you can go in horse shows with and things and use. God knows they pull. They keep them in straight stalls, and they have their hay hanging in front of them. And to water them, they take them out of their stall. They back them out. They take them over to the water tub and just let them stand there for 10 minutes. They get as much water as they want, and they clean the stall while that's happening. And then you go there and you get the horse and you put him back in the clean stall, and that's it for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You do that twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more than 8 hours, wouldn't it? Because there's 24. But at
Yeah.
any rate, you do it twice a day, and that's what they drink.
Yeah.
Maybe in the summer or the hot weather, you'd give them some more, but
Right.
no, you take them. And eventually you back the horse out, and he goes over by himself and gets a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Then you call him and he comes back. But you don't hang. If we have to hang water buckets for the crowd we got going now, and we got one more coming, it's going to be a full time.
And it would drive us crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did clean up the water tub, and I'm trying to figure out where to put it so that we can easily fill it and keep it clean, because it's too big unless you got 4 horses in it. We're just not going to empty it enough. It's going to get green. So I'm thinking of what can I rig around the back kennels. Can I snitch a piece of that concrete there? And there's water there.
Yeah.
Is there water in the back of those kennels?
I don't remember if they put spigots out there.
I don't remember either. At any case, I think Chip said it'd be no problem to put it there. Put some there.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, if we come through if we come through Walter's stall with the hose
Yeah,
and fill it,
yeah.
and have it sitting on concrete where we can empty it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way I can empty them is to set the siphon hose running
Yeah, and let it siphon
and let
out.
it empty, and then you go back later and fill it up, or scrub it out
Yeah.
and fill it up.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
'cause
it's too heavy to dump.
Yeah, you can't lift that.
And if you don't keep it fresh, it's awful.
Yeah, it is. I have a little wading pool that the dogs play in a couple of days. It's
disgusting.
terrible. Yeah,
Well, it's even worse around here. So
yeah,
we have to arrange it so that it's easily cared for.
yeah. Will Janine be bringing the pregnant donkey soon?
I don't know. I've forgotten. She told me. Yeah, she's gonna bring it up soon. It's in quarantine, so it has to stay there a couple. I don't know. I've forgotten.
I don't know either. Since the second Clydesdale is a twin of the first, will you consider keeping him as well?
It's not a twin. Let's get that terminology straight. It's a year younger. That would make it not a twin.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the same bloodlines, but it doesn't really matter because those Clydesdales, like him, are bred for that color.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not quite that color, then they're off somewhere else. But that is a super color.
Mm-hmm.
So my guess is he matches,
Yeah.
because that's what you try to do with these Clydesdales. They're not as good at pulling as the Belgian
Mm-hmm.
Belgian horses, but they're certainly big and they can pull. As a matter of fact, they could pull that damn grader. I was wondering how I was going to pull that grader. That
The ground grader,
I got to
right?
I'd have to take a whole tractor apart to put the grader on. And I noticed today we're getting potholes down there again.
I saw the flooding on the camera from the last rain.
Yeah.
Around the
potholes.
bend and around.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you those horses could pull that thing like it was a feather.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Or even, didn't you have Mo pulling stuff before?
Not that. That's heavy.
Oh. They're saying about how happy they are that Bella has SDP, and they're sorry people are mean to her. It's terrible. It's terrible. How is Chaos's cut? It looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah. I trimmed a tad, just a tad of the hair that was right around so that it wasn't sticking into it, and it looks great. Okay.
Now think back to all those people. Oh, yeah, it's stitches, you know.
Yeah. Well, she heals so fast. And
Yeah,
I've
too.
seen some of these cuts look like crazy. I mean, I get that they look like they're not going to heal, but I've seen them all heal.
Yeah, it'll heal. If they can lick it, it'll heal.
Yeah.
If they can't lick it, you got to pay a little more attention. Somebody's got to lick it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dog that bit it in the first place is the one to lick it.
Right. Right.
I've seen that too,
Yeah.
more than once.
Are you going to neuter Bentley as a preventative?
Prevent what?
You were talking about testosterone or testicles and
The rumor has gotten around that he has not had any medical diagnoses yet, other than the fact his stamina is shot to hell since the electricity, and so is mine.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. I haven't. No professional has looked at him or felt him or whatever, so I haven't really seen any need to do that because it just doesn't make any sense to me yet. So your answer is no.
your answer's no. Okay, good mail call. Crashed. We don't know. Okay, so I think we're caught up. If we missed anything, you can. It's not his twin. He's a year younger. She'll probably decide at the time, I guess. I think that might be it unless we missed somebody's lag. Diana is on tonight for overnight, and I'm going to heat up the lamb shank with the...
I see that the term twin was Janine's.
Oh,
That's just
I'm sorry.
the fact that it looks like.
Yeah, not age, but
Horses don't usually have twins in the first place.
yeah. Yeah. Twin in appearance.
appearance, yes.
Okay, I think we're good. If there's any questions, ask tomorrow or email them in. Thank you. Night.